one. Hello, Alan is calling from Switzerland. Hi, Alan.
Hi, Brian. How are things?
Good. Thanks for calling in. How's Switzerland over there?
Switzerland is great, but you can't believe the reaction of the Swiss people to the tariffs they put in place. 39%.
How do you guys feel about that? How do you feel about that?
Terrible. This is the number one problem. You hear from everyone. He has alienated the complete European market. The people are saying we're going to boycott American goods. The way they've treated Europe is a disgrace. But going back to the German guy that was on a couple of minutes ago, could you imagine if Churchill had put out the red carpet for Hitler, the mustache guy?
It would have been chaos. You're absolutely correct. It would have been chaos. And I wanted to go back.
Churchill would have lost all credibility.
Of course he would have. But there are so many people in the United States of America that are brainwashed and ill-informed. It's insane. So what is your feeling of
when
people?
It's a wake-up call for the state.
It should be.
I mean, I studied in Cornell University, upstate New York. I lived all my life. I worked for an American company. Lived all my life here in Europe. And we had such respect for the American way of life. That was really something we wanted to copy here in Europe. Today, it's reversed 100%.
Yeah.
The people don't understand how on earth can you, a guy of his low intellectual level, who can't even articulate himself, who is superficial in everything he says. He talks about himself as everything you don't want your kids to be. He does it.
Can I ask you, sir? I agree with you. Can I ask you, do most people in Switzerland blame Donald Trump, or do they blame America?
Well, they blame Donald Trump, number one, but especially they blame the Americans. How can they can't understand the Americans who vote for somebody like that?
Yeah,
he's a disgrace to America. He's dragged the American dream through the dirt. It is the lowest of the lowest we have ever experienced coming from the States.
Yeah, I agree with you, my friend, and I'm embarrassed, and I appreciate your phone call calling from Switzerland. I think it's almost 11 p.m. there, so we appreciate you calling in from Switzerland. We get calls all over the world, and we appreciate all of you.
A lot of people didn't vote for Kamala because she's a black woman. Let's face it.
Yes,
yeah, I agree.
That's what it is.
So, just very, very briefly, this the idea of Trump running again. I don't think he'll run again. And I'll tell you why. His mental decline is so marked on a daily basis now. I don't think he's going to make it to the end of the term. And I think that's what J.D. Vance is counting on as well. I mean, this is a guy, when a guy thinks he takes a dementia test, he passed an IQ test, he probably failed the dementia test. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
You know, this is a guy who still thinks he took an IQ test.
That's true. He doesn't know the difference.
He can tell the difference between a camel, an elephant, and a hog or something.
That's true.
So I just don't think he can make it another 3 years. Because every day he gets worse. He had the 1,500% discount from a supposed businessman. You know, I just don't see how far he can't go for 3 years like this.
I mean,
you know,
probably not. Probably
downward.
not. But Paul, here's what I'm going to say. Some of the nicest people in society, philanthropists, are people that, you know, their lives end way too soon, tragically. Some of the worst people on the planet are the people that live to 110. We know that Donald Trump diet consists of KFC and Burger King. We know he's morbidly obese. We know he looks terrible. But at the, you know, I don't know. Is there any woman on the planet that would say he looks good? I mean, I don't know.
A MAGA woman, maybe.
I mean, listen, Joe Biden was able to take his shirt off on the beach at his age. It's in good physical condition. He was able to go on a bike. You think Donald Trump could go on a bike?
Yeah.
The guy can barely swing a golf club.
No.
Would love to see him.
What made me laugh is when he said he was fitter than Barack Obama.
What? He said that?
He did.
Oh, my God.
Have you seen Barack Obama in a pair of shorts?
Seen him.
And Donald Trump?
Oh God, it's so pathetic. The guy is so disgusting. He can't even swing a golf club. He can't even get through swinging a club because his man boobs are in the way. I mean, It's so disgusting.
You know, I just can't see him surviving, Brian. I just can't see him hanging on for 3 years. Yeah, they'll be propping him up. You know, they'll be sticking him in a chair and moving him with strings by then.
What's worse, him or J.D. Vance?
That's the scary bit, isn't
Yeah.
it? Because J.D. Vance has actually got, you know, Donald Trump's got like a vestigial brain. It's like a big raisin. But J.D. Vance has got probably a proper brain, like a human brain.
Just
and
no
he could be
backbone.
Very dangerous. Some of the stuff.
Just no backbone and no decency, unfortunately.
No. But then all these guys, they've all sold their
Patriarchs.
souls.
Yeah.
You listen to them, they've all sold their souls they have. I mean, you know what impressed me is I watched all the J6, the hearings, which are brilliant. This is the best of America when I saw those. And I just, there was this girl, what was her name? She was 23 years old, and she was a real MAGA working in the White House. She wrote a book, Cassidy Hutchinson. And she said one day she couldn't go along with it anymore because she couldn't pass the mirror test.
Yeah.
I don't even remember that. And
Yeah.
she was 23 years old or something. I thought, Mitch McConnell, you're a disgrace, man. Look at that young girl giving it all away because she's got a sense of honour. And you haven't got a gram of honour in you. Not a gram.
The useless turtle.
She showed them all. I felt ashamed to be an older guy, I did.
Yeah. I feel ashamed to be a white man living in a country where so many white people would vote for a 34 count felon and adjudicated abuser. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed because that's why he won. White people. Let's call it for what it is.
And white
And
women.
let's face it.
54% of white women voted for
Let's face
Trump.
it, a lot of people a lot of people didn't vote for Kamala because she's a black woman. Let's face it.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I
It
agree.
really is.
Unfortunately,
It's
yes.
kind of obvious. If you get down to the nuts and bolts, why would you pick? What it is that the worst guy in America is better than the best black woman in America.
Agree.
That's what it is.
You are 100% correct, Paul, and it's always good to hear from you.
Jan on line 3 from
Jan?
Germany.
Oh, thanks a lot. Hi. Yeah, you've been talking about how to restrict, gun ownership. I would like to talk a bit more general. I don't really understand why do private persons need weapons at all. I mean, in Germany, basically, no private person owns guns, and we don't have a problem with it. But we also don't have a problem with, school shootings and stuff like this. So really, very general. Why do you think you need arms as a private person?
I believe
Why?
because there's a lot of people in this country that view the Constitution as a religion, as a Bible, that it is somehow their identity, and you can't change
But
course.
the Constitution can be amended.
But to a lot of people in this country, that's considered blasphemy. They view it like a religion, like almost like it's a god. Like they view school shootings as a cost of doing business, but don't tread on me, don't infringe on my personal freedoms. I don't disagree with you, but when we as a country are very nationalistic, right? Like the John Wayne, like, oh, America, I eat raw meat on a board and I arm wrestle polar bears and I catch salmon with my teeth in the river because I'm a real man and I got me some guns. Yeehaw! Like to a lot of people, that's their version of masculinity and being an American. Does that make sense? And when you take their guns away, they think that you're taking away part of their identity. They just don't care that kids are shot in schools.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. I just think what you should do to be more offensive in this discussion. I think it's too defensive to only talk about, maybe we do a little bit because these are the low-hanging fruits. I think this is a defensive discussion style, and this is not enough to motivate people.
Let me just say, Jan, where it came from was when we became independent from England, and we started to create America. We wanted people to be able to arm themselves as a militia because of the tyranny and oppression that we came from. And the tyranny and oppression that we came from, they were armed and we were not. Now, that's how it started. But like you said, that morphed into now everybody has to have a whole group of guns in order to feel safe.
Yeah, and this is 250 years ago. So you should be able to evolve as a nation.
But we haven't, because we're still a racist country, right? We still have black people going to vote until the 60s, right? And even now, we're demonizing trans people, we're demonizing minorities, right? Because to make America white again, to the Confederacy that lost, the MAGAs, right? They see an immigrant that's been here for 40 years that's never been found guilty of a felony. Never. Sure, their documentation's not right. They've been a productive member of society. They pay their taxes. They run businesses. They raise their kids here. But somehow the convicted felon who's a white man, who is an adjudicated rapist, who molests girls on Epstein Island, who causes an insurrection, who's a felon and commits tax fraud and asks for the execution of the Central Park Five, somehow he's a patriot because he's white. But if you're brown and your documentation's not right, we're going to break your windows, zip tie you, and throw you into a concentration camp. We really haven't evolved as much as we thought we had.
And if you look at the world history, every country who has rid themselves of the immigrants that helped build the country has financially collapsed.
Yep.
And that's where we're headed, because how many farms have we seen on TV, on social media? Farms no longer exist and can no longer do business, can no longer supply corn and strawberries and alfalfa because all the workers have left. And we're going to pay the price for that.
We will.
Thanks for calling from Germany, though. That's
thank
impressive.
you, my friend.
Yeah, thank you.
But at least we own the libs. Hey, really quick before we get this call, there is, and I see this on Blue Sky. You're talking about Blue MAGA. What is Blue MAGA? This is the hardcore left, vote blue, no matter who. And anytime you criticize anybody in the Democratic Party, they get their panties all in a twat. They always do it. Kamala Harris, I voted for her. She got 75 million people. She is a prosecutor. I voted for her. She would have been an incredible president. She lost. And instead of keeping the fight, she just went on vacation. I'm just keeping it 100, Leonard. Well, these people on the far left keep making excuses for Democrats. They are wedding 75 million people wanted her to be president, and she goes on a book tour.
Well, some of the people in the chat, are upset because black females do have it harder when they try to get into business, which 100%. I agree with. I don't have a discrimination bone in my body.
No.
And in fact, in about 2015 or so, I was a union president for several years. And I was asked by all of the local unions when they needed somebody to speak at the Martin Luther King statue on MLK and Cary about human rights and civil rights. They asked me to do it. And so I understand. And I'm not a black person, so I could never really understand being hated for the color of my skin, but I can relate in other ways.
I agree.
And I can tell you that what I'm speaking about, Kamala Harris could have been white, black, Asian, Mexican, whatever, anything. What I'm saying is I was talking about leadership, leadership qualities. I was not talking about anything else but that.
Yep.